Hey, good morning. Hope this message finds you well. Life is quite exciting over here on my end. It's summertime, so it's beautiful out here in the Midwest, and I'll be just stacking all my steps, getting a tan. If you work from home, man, and you can take your calls from the road, you should be walking all day. To me, it just makes so much sense. And for my profession, I feel much more productive and locked in conversation when I'm taking them on the move. In the wintertime, I have a stand-up treadmill that's not too loud. I'm able to do that. Or I just keep walking outside unless it's raining. So that's always a good productive tip for those who are working from home. And if you're working from home too, it's really good for you to take some time in between meetings or going from work to home life to create a buffer zone. And what a buffer zone is, it's just like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to reset, to get out of the energy you're in and to prepare your mind and prepare your heart, prepare your energy for where you're about to go. So for me, this looks like I'm working from home, I'm on calls, I'm coaching, I'm in the zone, and then I need to bridge over to be number one dad, number one husband, family mode. It's a different energy than the energy that I'm bringing in my coaching. So with that, I create a buffer zone. I go for a quick 10-minute walk. I do breath work. Maybe I do my sauna and ice bath. Maybe I do a workout. I create some space before I go from one environment to the next. And what this does is it brings me into the present moment, to be with my feet, to not get caught up in the static of the day-to-day life. It's really easy for our lives just to feel blended, like one big mush of just all things that are happening in a day. And what I realize is that these buffer zones, what they do is they slow it down. They really slow my days down because I have checkpoints. I have checkpoints in my day that I'm checking in with myself, that I'm making sure that I'm bringing my best self into that next environment. Another thing is, like, within my work, one call I have maybe with the fitness client, and then the next call I have maybe with the business client, and then the next call I have maybe with the life coaching client. I wear different hats for each of these individuals, and I'm sure in your career you have to wear different hats as well. And as you're wearing your different hats, you need to bring a different presence, and you need to bring a different influence to each person maybe that you're leading, or each problem that you're working to solve. So with that, you want to make sure that you don't take what you was in into what is in now in front of you. You don't want to, as you know, if you have a bunch of kids, like, you raise each kid a little bit different. Kids are different, so the way that you communicate to your kids and the way that you get through to them may look different from little Johnny than it does Susan. And the only way for us to be very effective at this is to create space between these levels of communication before we're in those environments. So today's biggest message is to slow it down, to take 5 minutes, to take 10 minutes in between your different demands in your day. And you're going to find on the other side of this that you're going to be going slower, that you're going to be more present. The practice is simple, but it's radically effective. The guys in my group, they take so much away from buffer zones. There's been dudes who have been doing this with me now for 4 or 5 years. I'm like, man, like, out of all the practices we do, this one may have radically changed my life the most. And it's simple. It's simple to grasp, it's simple to understand, but it's extremely easy to neglect because you're busy and you have things to do. And you're like, oh, I can't take 5 minutes. You can't. You have the time. It's like when guys tell me that they can't take the weekend away from their phone. I'm like, you're not that important. You can take the weekend away from your phone. You don't need to answer the emails. It'll be there on Monday. You don't need to answer the text. It'll be there on Monday. See, people often think they're going to miss out on more than they actually miss out on. For instance, I'm not spending a ton of time on social media this whole year. I'm off of it a good bit of time. There's been months I haven't been on it at all. Just scheduled all the tweets out or scheduled the post out. And there's other times I might pop on here or there. But I'm pretty disconnected from the platforms. I got no idea what's going on with the elections, what's going on with all the craziness in the world. I'm completely oblivious to it, if you will. And they say more information is, we need more information, but to me it seems like the same people who say that just have more stress in their life. So I've just parted ways from that, and if I need to hear what's happening, I'll hear it. It's just a matter of time before it goes through the grapevine and word of mouth gets to my ear. This is encouraging me to slow down. I have now more space between my day-to-day demands because I'm not checking social media all the time. I'm not popping on, seeing what the latest outroar's about, seeing what crypto's going on, seeing what Trump said to Biden or Biden said to Trump. It's out of it, totally out of it. I'm locked in and on things that I can control, which are right in front of me. My family dynamics, the energy in my home. I'm locked in, I'm focused. I'm focused on the things that matter to me, my priorities. See, one says they have priorities, but if you would follow them around and you watch how they go about their day, you'd be like, hey, he prioritizes work over his family. He prioritizes social media over his family, over his work. He prioritizes having no dead time. So it's one thing to say you have priorities, it's another thing to live it. It's the difference between knowing and doing. We want to bridge that gap. Like, we know these things, but it's important that you do them. And look around, and after you hear this, you know how everything tracks everything's crazy in the world. But you're going to see on social media, more and more people are talking about social media detox. Something I've been talking about for a while, something I've been implementing for a while. Been sharing with Alex Feinberg for quite some time, and all of my inner circle. I've been telling them about, we got to get away from socials, guys, I'm telling you. And it wasn't just because I knew that it was stirring something within everybody and we're getting addicted to it. But at the first, it was for like creators, like y'all are saying the same shit. So everyone sounds like everybody, you're just a bunch of talking heads, there's no creativity. If you want to be creative, you got to disconnect from what everybody else is doing. You got to be more the observer. And there's no better place to observe than in real life and within the self. So the first, it was just to disconnect, to be a better creator. The layers on top of that, though, it's obvious that social media is addicting. It's obvious that it increases your anxious energy. Reading about all of these outrages, it's affecting us, even at a small level. It's affecting us on a day-to-day basis. So pull back. I encourage you. For instance, this weekend, it's Tuesday when I send this. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm going camping for 4 days. I'll be phoneless. I won't even bring my phone with me. My wife will have hers in case of whatever, emergency or whatever. We got a phone. And I don't really worry about that, though. Like, I'd be driving around without my phone. Someone said, well, what if you get a flat tire? I'll fucking change a tire. I know how to change a tire, I'll change a tire. Like, if something happens, I'll figure it out as I go. I don't stress it. That's the thing. We feel as if these phones are our lifelines. Like, we've given away our power to solve things without having the cell phone. No, we're self-sufficient. We can do this. We can go about this life without that extension. It's a big encouragement to push back on the phone, to create buffer zones, and have some space in your life to slow it down. You might just realize that everybody got static in their life, but you be living in the static because you're choosing to not pluck yourself out of the busy. All right, y'all, sending you love today. Have a great day. Peace.